welcome back to Moto Market Explorer. Today, we're diving into 10 classic motorcycles for sale in America, featuring real listings, real prices, and legendary machines that define the vintage market heading into 2026. Number 1. 1979 Harley-Davidson Custom, $11,500, Muskogee, Oklahoma. This 1979 Harley-Davidson Custom build represents the deep craftsmanship side of the American V-twin scene. Built around S&S cases with an 80-inch motor, this bike features extensive internal upgrades, including new pistons, rings, bearings, bushings, seals, and gaskets throughout both the engine and transmission. The drivetrain is paired with a 4-speed hand-shift setup, offering a traditional riding experience that appeals strongly to purists and old-school riders. The chassis is equally impressive, utilizing a Pawco hardtail frame, a Moto iron Springer front end, and both front and rear disc brakes, an uncommon but welcome upgrade for a bike of this era. Dual plug heads, solid lifters, and dual coils indicate this machine was built for reliability, not just show. Both kickstart and electric start are present, adding versatility. With a complete teardown and rebuild documented by the seller, this Harley sits at a competitive price point for a fully sorted custom. In the 2026 market, hand-built Harley Customs with quality components continue to hold strong value, especially when the build avoids shortcuts and questionable modifications. Number 2. 1947 Indian Chief, $19,000, Westminster, Maryland. The 1947 Indian Chief remains one of the most recognizable silhouettes in American motorcycling history. This example is presented in bobber form, maintaining the unmistakable presence of post-war Indian design while offering a cleaner, simplified aesthetic. The seller reports that the bike runs well, with a new battery recently installed. While not described as a full restoration, this Chief appears to be a solid rider-grade machine, ideal for collectors who value usability over concours perfection. The post-war Chiefs benefit from strong parts availability and consistent collector interest, making them one of the most liquid assets in the pre-1950 American motorcycle market. At $19,000, this listing sits below many fully restored examples, positioning it as an accessible entry point into vintage Indian ownership as demand continues rising into 2026. Number 3. 1953 Harley-Davidson FL Panhead, $16,000, Chesterfield, New Jersey. This 1953 Harley-Davidson FL Panhead features a fresh rebuild with fewer than 400 miles since completion. Fitted with later 1963 heads, the bike blends early Panhead character with slightly improved breathing and reliability. The seller includes before photos, which is always a positive indicator of transparency and vintage listings. Panheads from the early 1950s remain highly desirable thanks to their mechanical simplicity, iconic sound, and strong aftermarket support. This example is priced firmly but fairly, given the rebuild status and low post-build mileage. For riders seeking a panhead that can be enjoyed immediately without the uncertainty of an unknown engine condition, this listing aligns well with 2026 buyer expectations. Number 4. 1946 Indian Chief, $25,000, Caldwell, Ohio. This 1946 Indian Chief is a matching numbers fully restored example with fewer than 5,000 miles since restoration. The bike has been converted to 12-volt electrics while retaining all original 6-volt components included in the sale, a major advantage for collectors who value reversibility. Post-war Indian Chiefs like this one represent the peak of Indian's large displacement touring platform. Restoration quality and completeness are key drivers of value, and this example appears to require nothing mechanically. At $25,000 firm, this Chief is positioned for serious collectors seeking a turnkey vintage motorcycle with long-term appreciation potential. Number 5. 1948 Harley-Davidson Panhead, $34,500, Arlington, Texas. This 1948 Panhead represents the first year of Panhead production, making it especially significant in Harley-Davidson history. The bike has been stored since 1990 and remains largely untouched, with matching original cases, good compression, and long-term single ownership by a retired Harley dealer. Although not currently running, the engine turns freely, making this an excellent candidate for either sympathetic recommissioning or preservation-focused restoration. First-year Panheads continue to command premium prices due to rarity and historical importance. In the 2026 collector market, early Panheads like this are increasingly viewed as blue-chip assets, especially when originality remains intact. Number 6. 1949 Indian Scout, $14,000, Caldwell, West Virginia. This 1949 Indian Scout, Model 249, is notable as the first and only year it officially carried the Scout name in this configuration. With matching frame, engine, and title, and over 40 years of ownership history, this bike presents strong provenance. Currently not running, the Scout turns over freely and appears largely original aside from paint. The seller notes likely needs including a battery and carburetor service. For collectors, originality often outweighs running condition, especially in transitional Indian models like this. Priced at $14,000, this Scout offers solid upside potential as originality-driven values continue to strengthen. Number 7. 1967 Harley-Davidson Shovelhead FLHFB, $19,000, Arnold, Missouri. This 1967 Shovelhead FLHFB is described as all original, with approximately 1,000 miles on a total rebuild. Documentation includes factory build sheets, original manuals, keys, and known ownership history, elements that significantly enhance collector confidence. The bike retains its original color scheme, complete touring equipment, and is reported to run, shift, and start perfectly. Shovelheads from the late 1960s are increasingly sought after as panhead prices push higher. In 2026, documented original condition shovelheads like this are viewed as stable long-term holds. Number 8. 1948 Indian Chief, $28,000, Manville, Texas. This 1948 Indian Chief remains largely original, aside from normal wear components. The bike runs but will require light recommissioning, including carburetor cleaning and a battery replacement. Last ridden over a year ago, it presents as a strong collection piece rather than a daily rider. Original condition Chiefs from the late 1940s are increasingly scarce, and many collectors prioritize authenticity over restoration shine. This example fits well within that philosophy. At $28,000, it reflects the premium placed on originality as the vintage Indian market continues to mature. Number 9. 1929 Harley-Davidson JD, $16,500, Pearland, Texas. The 1929 Harley-Davidson JD comes from Harley's pre-knucklehead era and represents true early American motorcycling. This example is offered as a display-focused project, sold as is, with no indication of mechanical completion. While not a running motorcycle, JD models remain historically important and visually striking. Many collectors acquire these bikes specifically for static display or long-term restoration projects. For under $17,000, this JD provides entry into pre-1930 Harley ownership at a price point that reflects its condition and intent. Number 10. 1949 Indian Scout, $13,500, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This second 1949 Indian Scout is described with personality and charm, purportedly retaining what the seller believes to be its factory-ordered paint scheme. The bike runs but has not been started recently, suggesting light recommissioning will be required. Included original manuals and specialty tools add meaningful value for collectors. The Scout platform remains one of Indian's most beloved designs, balancing manageable size with strong historical identity. At $13,500, this Scout represents an approachable, authentic piece of Americana as interest in pre-1950 motorcycles continues into 2026. That wraps up today's list of classic motorcycles for sale in America. If you enjoy real listings, real prices, and honest market insight, subscribe to Moto Market Explorer for more vintage finds every day.